Okay, hello guys, welcome to the conditionals class. I told you guys in the last class that I'll be taking this one next. Okay, and that was in the OP class. Okay, so why do we need conditionals? Okay, I'm just going to keep this one straightforward and teach you guys. Okay, so conditionals are important because, for example, in the previous codes I've been writing. Okay, I will just write something and something else will be at the bottom. Okay, it will execute that top one and the bottom one on something below. Okay, so that's how it usually executes. Okay, so if you want to change the way the code runs, you use conditionals to control that. Okay, so you have something that determines where or what code runs. Okay, instead of just having code fall through or execute from top to bottom. Okay, so some of the conditionals will have if statements. Okay, the do while loop, the while loop, the for loop, and the when statements. Yeah, so uh, there is no switch statement in Kotlin. Okay, so they remove the switch statements. Okay, so we have the when statements. The when is more powerful than switch statements, and I'll show you guys how to use the when. Well, everything here, like I've said in the previous classes, is just basic. Okay, so it's not something that you rely on or something. It's something that you have to go back and go and learn. uh, it's programming, you have to learn deeply. Okay, so I'll just introduce them here. So for the first part, I'll be taking the if statement. Okay, so let me assume that there's a variable here called free player. Okay, I've been using football terms since, and I thought it was wise to continue with that. Okay, so free player is equal to, let's say it's 10, so Messi is free. Okay, so now we want to write a code that prints out something when the player is 10, it to say okay, Messi is free, or when it is 11, it to say Suarez is free. How do we do that? We can't just come and start saying writing Messi is free, Suarez is free. That will just print everything out. So we use something called the if statement. Okay, so the if statement will take this is how you write your if statements. Okay, inside here I'll put free player. Okay, then here, sorry, I made a mistake. If free player is equal to 10, okay, so if free player is equal to 10, execute the code inside this braces. Okay, that's what this code says. Okay, if free player is equal to 10, do this. Okay, so let's write print line and write Messi is free. Okay, so if the free player is 10, Messi is free. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I run this, you should get Messi is free down here at the run. Okay, that's it. You can see there it's right, Messi is free. Okay, so what if the free player is not 10? What if free player is Suarez, which is Messi, which is 11? Okay, and I run this code now, you will see that okay, the code actually does not run the if statement. It just executes because it checks here and it says this is not true, you can't print this, and then just exits. Like, wow, what should I do to catch the code? Okay, so to do that you have to add the else statement. Okay, so if free player is not equal to 10, okay, so you just write else. Okay, so no need to add the brackets. Okay, so just add the curly braces. Okay, so else we just say print print 9. Okay, sorry, Messi is not free. Okay, so this is just an if statement that checks if the free player is 10. Okay, if free player is 10, it says Messi is free. If free player is not 10, it says Messi is not free. So if you run this, you should get Messi is not free. So okay, so that's it. Is it for if statement? And I want to add another one here. So maybe you want to check for Messi, and then you want to check for Suarez. Okay, so you want to check for 2 players. So instead of checking for just one and then writing else Messi is not free, okay, you want to check for another person. You want to add more checks. Okay, and you can add something here. Instead of writing another if statement and trying to validate, you can add something called the else if. Okay, so this is so else if free player is equal to 11. Okay, so I'll copy this because I'm very lazy and say Suarez is free. Okay, so if I print this out, I should get Suarez is free. Okay, so Suarez is free because free player is 11. Okay, so here I should say Messi and Suarez is not free. Okay, and it's RS. Okay, Suarez. Okay, so that correctly displays what we're trying to do here. So I hope you got that, and that's the if statements for you. If statements. If this is not free, if this is true, run this. Okay, if this is true, do this. If none of all this here is true, then do this final one. That's how if statements works. Okay, so I'm going to go to the do while loop. Okay, so let me clear this. Okay, let me bring that back and clear only the if statements part. Okay, that should be easier. And then I'll add a do while loop. Okay, so do. Okay, wow. Okay, free player is less than 11. Okay, so what do I want to the program to do? I can say print. Okay, okay, so let's let me just call this a code to check that just displays when I'm checking for free player. Okay, but here I just wrote a do while loop. Okay, I just want to show you guys something. Okay, 11 is not less than 11, so free player here is not less than 11, so this is not true. Okay, but this will actually run once. Okay, let me show you guys that it will run once. Okay, so a do while loop is a loop you use when you want the code to run at least once. Okay, after it runs once, it doesn't run again until it doesn't run again. Okay, so I hope you guys got that. A do while loop is a loop that you want to run at least once. So anything you put in this do will run once, and if this is true, this part here, this free player part is less than 11 is true, it will actually keep running until it is false. Okay, so but this is false here. I kept it here false on purpose. Okay, so let's say maybe it's something 10. Okay, or maybe 9. Let me just make this 9. Okay, and then I say free play. Sorry. Okay, so this free player plus plus just increments free player by 1, so that I can actually exit the loop, and the loop is not infinite. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so the first time when the code runs, it prints, okay, and free player is updated, so it's 10. Okay, it checks here, 10 is less than 11, and this is also true, so the loop runs twice. Okay, so the first time it runs, okay, and that first time it's true. First time is just the do. Okay, it must run once, at least once. Okay, so but after it runs that first time, and it updates a free player to 10. Okay, it checks and it's still less than 11, which is true. It runs again for the second time. I just want to show you guys that the do while loop runs more than once. Okay, so the do while loop is a loop you use when you just want it to run more than at least once. So I hope that's not very confusing to you guys. Okay, so this is the while loop. Let me show you guys the while loop. Okay, the while loop is quite simple. It's just this. Okay, so while loops can be very funny, because if you don't increment what you are trying to check or do something about the details you are using, it will actually run forever and mess up your code or something, your overflow your stack. Okay, so that's why I'm incrementing this free player. That's why I incremented it in the do loop and in do while loop and also in the while loop, because if I don't do this, it will keep running forever, because 9 will always be less than 11. But if I increase 9 or 9 gets bigger, it will sometime be greater than 11. Okay, or equal to 11, and the code will stop. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Okay, so free player right now is less than 11, so this will run. So let me write something. Print 9, checking for free. Okay, so this part here which says checking for free player. Okay, so this code will actually run, print this, increment, and it will give me 10. 10 is less than 11, it will run again, print this, and give me 11. 11 is equal to 11, but not less than 11, so it will not run. This will actually run twice. Okay, same with the do while loop. Okay, so here you can see it's twice. Okay, so I hope that was clear. That's just the while loop. It does not actually run if this is false, like it was false from the beginning. Like if this is 11 from the beginning, which is not less than 11. Okay, 11 is not less than 11. 11 is equal to 11. Okay, if this is false in the beginning, it will not run at all. The code will not actually show anything. It just exits. Okay, if you want to check for equals to, you have to use this. Okay, if free player, while free player is less than 11, is equal to 11, run. Okay, it's running on debug because okay, so it just runs once. Okay, because free player is equal to 11. Okay, so, but if you want to check for less than and equal to, you can actually use this. Okay, sorry, not that. Okay, this. Okay, okay, so it will give me it will also run once. Okay, because it's less than and equal to. That equal to is what actually makes it run once, and then when it increases, it's no longer less than. Okay, if you actually add something greater than here, it will actually run forever, because if this is greater than and equal to, it will run. 11 is equal to, it will run the first time. Okay, 12 is greater than, it will be true, it will run again. that thing is greater than, and it will still continue increasing. So if you are trying to use greater than, you have to actually reduce. Okay, so just be careful when you're using the while loop, because this is the kind of problem you get when you're using the while loop. Okay, so there are so many issues with the while loop. You have to actually do all these things yourself. Okay, that's the while loop. Okay, let me show you guys the when statements. Okay, so let me leave this. Okay, I made a mistake of moving that too. I just want to use the same free player. Okay, so when, okay, I told you guys about the switch statements in Java. You had this switch. Okay, even in JavaScript. I know it's in JavaScript. Okay, so you have this switch, then you had something here. It take free player in between. Okay, then you now had the braces, then you now had something to say case 0, case 1. So if it was 1, if free player was 1, do this. If free player was 2, do this. Case 2, case 3, case 4, and so on, as any amount of cases you wanted. Okay, that's not how we did it in Kotlin. In Kotlin we have the when statement, so I just wrote that there so that you see how. Okay, so this is the when statement. What am I doing? I actually made a mistake. I was wondering why it was showing me that error when in small letter. Okay, so when. Okay, so when statement. Okay, when statement actually uses the lambda. Okay, or that's how it works. Okay, so instead of writing case 0, case 1, case 2, you just had to use something like this. If you just write 0 here, okay, 0 now, no need of writing the case and all that, just put the, okay, if it's 0 it will print line. Okay, no player. Okay, if it's 11 it will say sorry, I was finding the right key. Okay, Neymar. Okay, so maybe for 10 we'll have okay, so 10 will have okay, Messi. So this is 11 right now, so as you can see 11 is the correct value for free player. Okay, so it should print Neymar. Okay, okay, this import was here from that one other one I used. I made a mistake of adding capital letter there instead of small letter. Okay, so that was my mistake, sorry. So Neymar is what prints. Okay, so that's it for when statement. Okay, when is actually very powerful when you use it with enums and sealed classes. I'll get to that, but I'm not sure I'll get to that part, sure. But this is supposed to be like the basics, and to just show you guys the language, make you guys comfortable. It's just actually me doing this because I value the language part a lot. Okay, when I started Android before, I didn't actually learn the language very deep. I was afraid of the language and ended up usually writing messy codes until I sat down to learn the language well. So if you guys find something is interesting, learn the language very well. Okay. JetBrains Academy that I give you guys a good one. There are so many other resources. Documentation is also there, but that should be for reference purposes. This is not for learning actually. I will not advise you to or go to the documentation directly, except you know what you're doing. Maybe that will scare you or something. For newbies, it will surely scare you. But if you have another form resource or good resource that you feel is very good, you can also use it. It's allowed. Okay, so that's it for the when statements. What now remains now is the for loop. Let me remove this. Okay, I forgot to add that the when statement also uh, allows you to add the else. Okay, so that was my bad. Okay, so else uh, you can also say no player or something. Okay, so I'm just coming and add no player. Okay, so no player, so that's also allowed in the else statements. Okay, so it's not just for 0 or whatever. Okay, so that's it for when statements finally. Okay, let me just do the for loop. Okay, okay, so I just brought out the for loop. Okay, so I actually wrote this right now, but okay, so you guys can see from what I just wrote. Okay, so in Java you have to write stuff like this. Okay, so you write for, then you now write I equal to very bad code. It took me a while to understand what Java was actually saying when I was writing the for loop. And I write I is less than or equal to maybe 10, sorry, 10, then you now write I plus plus. Okay, so it was actually very not very readable. Okay, so it means from 0 to 10. Okay, and it should increment or something. That's not how it works in Kotlin. In Kotlin is actually easier. Maybe if you use Python, you will know what I'm talking about. In Python, this I actually saw this first. Okay, this is called ranges. Okay, so it's you just say I n. Okay, n is now keyword. Okay, in 1 dot 10. Okay, so this is actually what you did here is you created a range. Okay, from 1 to 10. Okay, so you're telling it to step once. Okay, so it should just increase by 1. Okay, so if I print this now, I just added this print statement here. This will print player and then the number. This is string interpolation, something I showed you guys before, but in this string interpolation I just added I, so the value of the number it's in or the step it's in, it will be printed. So it should show player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4 until player 10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, that's it. Okay, for for loops. Okay, for loops, there are varieties of ways that you can do the range. You can create the range. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys that later. Okay, so there's another thing I want to show you guys. Maybe you want to, maybe you're wondering like, why is it like this? Okay, what if I want to go backwards or something? Okay, you can actually do the step down. Okay, sorry, that is the step, the down to. So you can write down to. Okay, so okay, I'm making a mistake here. I'm not even near where I want to do it. So 10 down to, okay, sorry, 1 down to, I actually want to go from 10 down to 1. Sorry about that. It was when I was writing it that I just realized I was writing to the wrong place. Okay, so I in 10 down to 1. So step 1. Okay, so to go from 10 to 1, that's what I'm trying to do. So this down to here is something that tells it go from 10 to 1 instead of going from the normal 1 to dot dot 1 dot dot 10 to go from uh, uh, 1 to 10. Okay, so this is it. It just displays this here. Okay, so a for loop is actually powerful. You can use it with lists and so many data structures. Like, it works well with them, and I've seen that power only with Python. That power is very very powerful, and that's one of the reasons why Python is preferred for um, data, um, for the stuff it's used for. What's I've forgotten what that is called, but data, okay, data analysis. Okay, so Python, that's one of the reasons why Python is preferred for data analysis, the simplicity and how it works. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so you want to go forward. Okay, what you create the range in a way. There are other ways to create the range. Okay, so I'll not be going through all the methods and exhausting all the list or so many of them. So okay, there's another thing again I show you guys. Step, you can actually step twice. Okay, if you don't want to step once, you can step twice. Okay, so instead of going from 10 9 8, you can just say 10 8 6, and then count 2 2. Okay, so that will show you. Okay, 10 8 6 4 2. So this is easy. It's easier than writing all those code that you write. Okay, if you actually want to do something like this step in Java, it will actually be something bulky, like so many lines of code. Okay, so you can see from the for loop that Kotlin is really easy. Like, it's very very simple. It just simplifies work for you, makes it very very easy for you. So many people like using Kotlin for something that involves a lot of algorithm and other stuff, because it makes work easy. People like Python for its simplicity. Kotlin brings the power of Python to languages like Java. Imagine a language like Java where people are complaining of something, of things like the verbosity. If you want to write something, you have to write this and write that and write that just to do something very simple. Okay, so Kotlin brings the simplicity down there. Okay, so I hope that was simple. I hope that you got the for loop and it's not very confusing to you. So I think that's all for control flow. I'm going to be done with that. In the next class, I'll just show you guys data structures, like the simple ones. I'm not going to go into all the data structures. Okay, so simple one like lists and all those other parts. Okay, the interface is mostly the list, the map, the sets, and maybe the implementations, the array list or something like that. Okay, so it's up to you guys to go and know what I'm actually talking about. I'm not going to go into details into that. Okay, so I'll just touch on collections. Okay, so next class is the next video is on collections. Okay, so collections should be simple. So with all these things, I'll tell you guys now. With in combination with maybe the last class collections, you actually understand the code and know what's going on. Okay, so collections should be the last one for a while. Okay, then I'll start more if it's needed. Collections will help you understand at least what you're going to do with tasks that you have now, such as the recycler view and the rest. Okay, so with that, I think you guys are ready to start doing stuff. This is just to show you what you're actually doing if you're a total newbie. If you're not, please go and read. Okay, so this is for total newbies, not so that you not be staring at others while they code or something. Okay, so thank you guys. I hope that was fun. I had fun recording the video. I know it's actually late at night, but I'm recording this, so feedback is also welcome. If you don't like the videos for some reason, I would like to hear you out, because I want to make things better. It's my duty as a programmer. Okay, so if you didn't like the video or something was I'm actually trying to meet up. I have stuff to do, so I'm not usually active on Slack and all that. So, but the small time I get, I usually use it to record the videos. Okay, so if there are any issues you have, I will actually enjoy it if you actually tell me what the issues are. Okay, I'll try to make things better. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, so that's it for the control flow. Okay, so next class, collections. Okay, so with collections, almost done.